Hey everyone, how's it going? Let's see. This is the first of the maybe weekly updates that I'm going to be doing via video. I am outside right now. This is the first day. It's been nice enough for me to sit out here, so I'm sitting out here. We'll see what the audio is like. We may not be able to do this again, but I'm going to try it. Also, if you hear any animal noises, I have various animals around me right now, so don't be surprised if you hear barking, meowing, or a rooster. There is a rooster down the road. But anyway, so hello. We'll see how this goes. So a little introduction if you don't know me. I write as J.R. Frontera. I'm an author. I write science fiction and fantasy mostly. I have some steampunk adventure stories in the pipeline. Let's see. I have a few things published right now. I've done some panels at various conventions, mostly in the Kansas City, Missouri area. I am a mom. I have a son, one son, just one, and it will stay that way. I do have various animals, as I mentioned. We have acreage. And I also work full-time at a software development company. So it's very busy. Oh, and I also am co-host of a podcast called Writer Mom Life, which is directed towards, as you guessed it, writer moms. I co-founded that along with my co-host, Daphne James Huff. You can also find her online. And I co-founded a local writing group called The Word Wraiths, and I'm co-owner of their publishing imprint, Word Wraith Books. So, lots of things going on, as I said. As I speak, it is a Thursday afternoon. I decided to go ahead and do this video here real fast, as I actually have real clothes on. I usually live in my pajamas, so it's a rare occasion for me to be outside of my pajamas, so I thought I should take this opportunity. So here I am. I haven't had my coffee yet. I'm drinking it now. I need it. It's been a day. But anyway, I had the chance, like I said, to make this, so I thought I would get on it. I am not really entirely sure what these things will be like yet. I guess we're going to find out together. But I did want to start doing something that was more for readers, pretty much. So if you are a reader or a writer even, and you have something that you would like for me to talk about, whether it's related to my books or writing or self-publishing, because I'm an indie author, I publish all of my own stuff. That means I do I actually don't personally do all of it. I outsource much of it, but it means I have to coordinate and hire, if I don't do it myself, people to do my formatting and my covers and the print on demand. So there's lots of things involved in that. So my goal with these updates is just to give you an insight into how my writing is going, how my publishing is going, any strange things that happen along the way. There'll be some life updates in there too, I'm sure. If you want to hear about my ducks, we have 2 ducks. I'll talk about that. I don't really care. Just whatever you want to hear about. Any questions you might have. Like I said, I have a few things out now. It's a few books, so if you've read my books, you have any questions on any of those stories, feel free to ask in the comments as well. And I can talk about that. So, I guess I can give you a little update about what happened this week. So this week, it is March 22nd, by the way, today. So this week has been kind of crazy. Mostly with my son's school things. They're having a fundraiser right now. They needed a whole bunch of things for projects. That was interesting. Also, I have some editing to do for the next podcast episode coming out. I'm also doing some freelance editing right now. So I have a freelance editing job that I'm working on. It's a military sci-fi novel that is about 100,000 words, so I'm working on edits to that. Let's see what else. Oh, I submitted my flash fiction to a flash fiction / anthology contest. That was fun. It's a 300 word limit, but weirdly this year I didn't have too much trouble with that. I've submitted to this contest the last 3 years, and it was all very difficult those 3 years to do a 300 word story. But this year it was easier for some reason. I did some plotting on my epic fantasy novel that's still in first draft phase. It's supposed to be done. It is sitting at about 130,000 words, and I'm just past the midpoint, so it's definitely going to be an epic. It's definitely taking longer than it's supposed to, but that always happens. So I did some hardcore plotting on the back half of that novel this week. It was interesting. I got to the midpoint scene and realized that I had no clue what was going to happen after that. I knew what needed to happen, but I had no idea how it was going to happen. So that was not so fun. So I kind of let it simmer for about 4 days. And then I just sat down the other day and just started throwing some things out there, which is usually what I do when I'm stuck on plotting. And got a few things out there, so that's good. I also got the animated ebook cover back from my cover designer for that book. That one is called Reign of Dust. It is book 1 of an epic fantasy trilogy. So I do have the cover for that one done. No, you don't get to see it yet. I'm not going to release the cover until it's basically ready to sell, which might be a while yet, but the cover's awesome. So I really can't wait for you guys to see it. Let's see. Oh, and I got an animated ebook cover from the designers who did my cover also on that, and that is amazing. I can't wait to share that either. So, if you do want some previews, though, I do have a Patreon page. I am JR Frontera on Patreon as well. I'll put a link in the description to this video in case you want to check it out. But I do post my draft chapters for my patrons on Patreon. And they also got to see a sneak preview of the cover there, too. So I do let my patrons see some stuff early. Like I said, they're getting to see pretty much the entire first draft of Reign of Dust. So if you're interested in something like that, you might check that out. You get the sneak peek draft chapters for $2 a month is all. And then you'll basically get to see this entire book. Really raw, mind you. Really raw, and a lot of it's going to change from the final version, but you will get to see a lot of it that way. And then another thing, if you haven't read any of my stuff yet, you can get a free copy of my collection of science fiction short stories, End of Line, by joining my newsletter. And you can do that at my website, jrfrontera.com. There's a big graphic there that says get your free book. You just click on that, tell me where to send it, and then I will send you a free ebook of that one if you want to check it out. I'll put that link also in the video description. Coffee needs a warm up. There we go, that's better. Okay. So, if you would like to get your free copy of End of Line, which is of this book, you can just go to my website. Again, I'll put the link in the description. If not, no worries. Just hang out here. If you are interested in hearing more from me, just like this video, subscribe to my channel, which is pretty bare bones right now, but I'm going to spice it up here shortly, so don't worry about that. Anyway, so that's about all for me this week, I think. Next week, hopefully I will have more updates for you, and I think I'm going to kind of go into next week my new way of starting a new book, because even though I'm in the middle of this book 1 for the epic fantasy trilogy, I have started plotting book 2, and I'm doing it in an entirely different way this time. I'm also starting to plot out book 1 of my steampunk adventure series as well. So I think next week I'm going to go into a little bit of how I'm going about that in the new way, basically. And that should be pretty fun. So in the meantime, if there's any questions you might have about anything that I've talked about in this very rambly video, or like I said, if you've read my stuff and you have questions on that, whatever you want to hear more of, I'm all ears. I've never done this before, so we're going to see how this works, and hopefully this video was okay also. So anyway, I guess I will see you guys next week. Bye! Let me get this little guy. Come here, this word.